I like that song too, that beat.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I like the beat.
We already got people in here too. Shout out to anybody on X right now. Like I can't post comments. I can't see nobody comments from X, man. I can't. Big Dog Allen, what's going on with you, bro?
What's up, baby? How everything going with you?
Man, I can't complain, bro. What you missed, man? We got comments coming in here already. What up, Slime? What up, Carl? We just waiting on CJ and the Chicago Clarence to get in here, man. We about to get into it real soon, bro. Waiting on CJ and Chicago Clarence and everybody like that, bro. Well, we're gonna have a good time, man. Pull up with your comments on YouTube or Twitter, wherever you at, man. It's gonna be dope. What's going on? Nonsense Nap. What up, bro? Man, where you been at, dog? I ain't seen you in years, man. Everything cool with you, bro? How you living, Slime? How you living, dog? You know what? I can put this video back up here, man, since we waiting on everybody to come in here right now, man. We got 7 people in here right now. We appreciate whoever came up in here, man. To anybody that's on Twitter right now, can't see your comments, man. I guess I gotta re-add Twitter back. So if you post a comment, I can read it, but I can't see it. So sorry about that. It's just me and Alan going on in here right now. So Alan, what do you think about the offseason so far, man? Like I got a couple of things. You saw Tyreek Stevenson saying he get ready to get his hunt on. He ready to hunt. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people feel like they falling out of love with Tyreek Stevenson. Me personally, I'm just kind of like, you got to give a young man the time to mature. You got to give a young man time to grow. You know what I mean? So, but you got Al Harris here and Dennis Allen here. So how do you feel about that, bro? Like, if he don't get it right with them two here, how do you feel, man?
Well, I mean, the thing about Tyreek Stevenson, man, he has a world of talent. I mean, I love everything about him on the field. I mean, I don't know too much about him off field, but I just know he can lose his mind in spaces in the game. Like sometimes in spaces in the game, he finds himself isolated and do things that could be detrimental to the team. We can't have that. We can't have isolated incidents coming from our DBs. It's, your penalties hurt more than anybody. Because if you do something down the field, that's 15 yards. That's a first down and some change. So when you're implicated as a defensive back, pass interferences, over physicality, things like that, not having your head in the game, you could cost teams ball games. So I'm really hoping that, Coach Allen can kind of ring them in. But if he can't ring them in, they've got options. With the draft this year, we're bringing in Zay Frazier, and bringing in some guys as, some corners from other teams. They're going to let everybody know that this is an open competition. So if he wants to, not buy into the grand scheme of things, he'll probably find himself on the trade. We'll put him on the trading block. And I think that's something he don't want this young in his career. That can kind of throw off his contracts and stuff like that. So this is a big year for Tyreek Stevenson.
Man, I just think Tyreek Stevenson, man, he just deserves another chance, man. Like,
yeah,
he young, bro. Like, we had no real type of leadership in the locker room, as we all know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's kind of young. Caleb ain't really the leader that he's supposed to be right now because he's so young. So it's kind of like it's like a kid, man. Like I'm gonna just take an inch instead of taking a yard. I'm gonna just take a mile type shit.
Right.
And that's the type of shit that was going on with Tariq Stevenson, man. But it's just unfortunate, and he was getting beat a lot of times. But like I said, man, I don't know, man. We gonna see how it goes with him, man.
But you know what though, G man, on some real in the real world, understand, like I like what you said with second chances, but sometimes, man, he gotta understand it don't always come. So sometimes he's gotta make sure that he does the right thing, man, and be a part of the team and exploit your talent. Like you're a great, I ain't gonna say great, but you're a really good corner, man. Like I feel like your physicality is really above beyond, but he's gotta lock in. Serious, like he just don't know.
Your mic going out, Alan. I think you took your mic off.
Oh yeah. What did you hear everything?
I heard most of it.
Okay. Yeah, he just got to keep working, man, and stay locked in, man. I'm rooting for him. I want the best for him, like all our players. But the shenanigans, man, that's got to stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this video on, man, so we can get to it. So everybody waiting.
That's my girl right there, man. What's her name, G? Oh. What's up, Andy?
Not much. How are you guys?
I'm chilling, man.
Yeah. I wish I could say the same. I live in Charlotte. It's still hot here.
Yeah, I'm down the road from y'all in Winston.
Yeah, that's what Walker said. You gotta come with us one Sunday and watch a game with us. You're that close. That's not
I get up there maybe a couple of days this season. I get down there.
Yeah, that's not a bad drive from Winston to Charlotte.
No, like a hop, skip, and a jump, as they say.
I don't know where we're watching games yet. We're still talking about it. Because Clarence moved to Columbia, South Carolina now.
What?
Yeah, he left Charlotte. He's a big dog. He got promoted.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah, he's a big dog now. I mean, you see all the hats he bought in Chicago, man. He can afford 18 hats at one time now.
They signed Ryan Poles in 2029, man. I don't think he's off the hook at all, though, man. I don't think he's off the hook, though.
That's a lot of coin, G. That's a lot of coin.
Yeah, it's Kevin Warren, the boss, the uncle, the grandfather.
I listened to this exact show on the way home today. I clocked out of work.
Yeah, I like that. I like the young lady, man. She really knows football.
I usually listen to ESPN, but they were broadcasting the White Sox game, so it was just White Sox.
The White Sox ain't doing too good, are they?
No.
Nah, hell no. The White Sox are terrible. We got Carl in here. What up, Carl? We got nonsense now. He said before these camps, I saying the Bears go 9-8. That's very reasonable, bro. We should go 9-8.
That'd be a good year, 9-8.
Yeah, for a new regime and a new head coach.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, that's a good year. At this point, I just want us to be a competitive outfit. That's pretty much it. You know, to look better than we did the last 3 years.
Ryan Poe's one of the most luckiest people on the fucking planet, man. What are we talking about? He's been lucky this whole time. He's lucky, man, but I like his vision. I think he just needed a couple of people that were better than him at what he was doing. Like, he needed somebody better than him in certain areas for him to get his vision off the ground. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it was, man. But the offensive line, though, you ain't getting no slack from me from that, man. All right, but we're gonna stop this, man. We're gonna get to it. What's going on, everybody? It's G Walker, the CNG Podcast, and I got my guy Alan with me. I got the Chicago, the Bears Den Podcast with me, and we all getting together right now, man. Give us a couple of seconds right now. Hold on, man. This shit is crazy. There you go. Thank you, honey, for reposting the stream. That's my homegirl right there, man. She's super smart, man. She's in my chat, man. Shout out to the chat. The Bears chat I'm in, man. Everybody in there, man. Shout out to Davey. Shout out to Rashid. Shout out to Celeste. Shout out to Honey. Shout out to Ramina. Shout out to Bear Mysterio, my dog. Shout out to Swifty Sports Network, man. Shout out to everybody in that chat, man. We all look out for each other. We all have a good time with each other in there, man. We're professionals in there as much as we possibly can be. So, you know, shout out to her for reposting this, man. We about to get into it. We got CJ in the building right now, and we just wait for him to come on. CJ, how you doing, bro? She said, I love you, guy. I love you too. Appreciate it. Thank you. Chicago Clarence, man, what's going on with you, big dog, man? How you feeling, bro? I see you over there, man. I know you got a lot to say about this Ryan Poles situation, man. So, you know what I mean? Like 15 and 36, man. So we gonna get to it. She said she's here for the Allen taste. Oh yeah. Oh, you know Allen about to cook. You know Allen about to cook. Look We just getting started. You know that. So let's have a ball, y'all. I'm like, I got to hit the guys up, man. I got to get the celebrities and the superstars in here. If I don't have Chicago Clarence and Andy on here, man, like it really ain't no point in doing none of this, man. So I hit up my guys and see what's going on, man. I'm mad I missed you when you came to Chicago, but you saw them pictures of my basement, man. You saw everything I was telling you, bro. Like shit was getting real as hell down there. And my son was in summer league hoops and basketball, man. So I'm mad I missed y'all when I was really wanted to kick it. But hey, you said you coming up here, man, to get your butt beat to some spades, man. So coming up is crazy. So,
Nah, what I said was I was coming back to hand out an ass whooping in spades. That's what I said. And that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, man, we had a blast down in Chicago. It was my second time ever going to the city. We did a lot of sightseeing. When I tell you Andy can walk, that dude need to be in the marathon competing with them Ethiopians. That dude can walk. He walked our ass all over that city.
That's a lot, man. CJ, what's up, bro? Hey, CJ, take your time, man. We know it. But yeah, but Chicago, man, I'm glad y'all have fun, bro. Like it is one of the best cities in the world. Y'all know that, man, from the food to the architecture to how to get around. And then it's a sports town. And the Cubs is winning right now. I went to a Cubs game. My wife's birthday was on the 4th, man. I had my whole road damn near to myself, man. It's just a beautiful city, especially in the summertime. Chicago is one of a kind, bro. But let me see what if we can kind of get it going. Let me see something. Hold on. Nope, that ain't gonna work. All right, let's get to it, man. I ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's get to why we here, man. Let's get to why we here. This is why we here tonight, people. This is why we here. This is why we here, man. Ryan Poles has been extended, bro. Ryan Poles has been extended through the 2029 season, man. Look, Ryan Poles got here, man. He was very young. I'm gonna just give my spill about it. I'm gonna give it to the fellas, man. Ryan Poles, I thought he was very smart coming from Kansas City, being around a winning culture. So I always felt like when we got him, like we got a guy that was pretty much around winning. But that's not what happened when he got here. It was a situation with Bill Polian and George McCaskey in a way, and somehow we got Matt Eberflus. Just a lot of stupid shit happened, man. Like just a lot of dumbass stuff happened, you know, in Ryan's first few years being here, man. Me being me, you know, the main thing that I didn't like about Ryan Poles was that he couldn't fix the offensive line, bro. The offensive line has been terrible since he got here. The offensive line didn't get put together till Ben Johnson got here. So let me see if CJ can pop up on this side. No. Let me see. So I got everybody over here. CJ, you in here still, man? Nope, CJ is out of here. So Ryan Poles, he gets an eye so far as far as his job with the Chicago Bears. He gets an eye. It's incomplete. I felt like he was always stuck with Matt Eberflus. I don't feel like Matt Eberflus was his choice, but he ended up doubling down with Matt Eberflus and keeping him. That set the team back, but at the same time, if you hadn't, imagine us having a winning record with Matt Eberflus and everything like that. So it might have been a blessing in disguise that he was here, that he lost. So with that being said, Ryan Poles, I'm glad he got the extension. You know what I'm saying? Just because I feel like I'm tired of the change around. Everything is constantly changing. So it's just cool to have some type of stability right now in the situation with the GM. He's not perfect. No GM is perfect, but I always give him an F for that offensive line. I don't care what anybody says. But we got Allen. Allen, what's your thoughts on this extension, man? How do you feel about this extension?
Well, I think we are. I can't speak for everybody, but I can say this about Ryan. Ryan has the right people in the room that like him. So I think the ownership really like Ryan. I think Kevin Warren was probably some of this, but I think this is more of a George move. George really respects Ryan. Ryan really got them out of financial hell. About 2-3 years ago with Poles. Poles had us knee deep in some football debt as far as overpaying Khalil Mack, going to the Khalil Mack bank and all kind of stuff, man. We had like almost $60 million in dead cap space. That's financial hell in the NFL. So Ryan found a way to get us out of that. And now, man, we got plenty of cap space. So we should be a competitive team going forward. So administratively, I've always loved Ryan. It's just the in-between, the relationships and the things like that. That's what he needs to continue to work on. But he's somebody we know. So at least we know Ryan. We know his tendencies are. So going forward, I can live with it.
Anybody want to go next? It don't matter who go next, man. Speak your mind. Speak your mind. That's why we in here, man.
Well, I'll go next. The thing for me is, I feel like we should have fired him last year. The fact that we didn't fire him and we let him come to the following year and we let him hire the next head coach, and now you want to align the head coach and the general manager, that's something that you're supposed to do. That's the right way to do things. You align the head coach and you align the general manager. But we have always done it backwards. So now you want to go ahead and give him a contract extension. Then you feel like that you got the hottest the hottest head coach prospect out there in Ben Johnson. We hired him, we signed him. Now they go hand in hand. And Ryan Poles' fate is tied to Ben Johnson. Make no mistake about it. Both of their fates are tied to what Caleb Williams is going to do. And in order for Caleb Williams to be successful, we have to have what? An offensive line. Now, I can get on my soapbox and talk about my displeasure with some of the decisions that Ryan Poles has made in the past years. And I ain't going to do it right now. I might do it later in the show. But at the end of the day, we got to win. If we don't win, then all of this is for naught. And so now you're sitting up there with a guy that you should have fired years ago, tied to 4 more years, and then you got a head coach sitting in there. And like I said, at the end of the day, anything other than playoffs, football is a disappointment to me. I don't want to hear nothing about no 8-9. I don't want to hear nothing about no 9-8. You better win. We better make it to the playoffs because that's what this team is built on. Tooney and Dahlman, they contracts dictate that you are going to the playoffs. They ain't dictating that you're in rebuilding mode because 2 of them are long on the tooth. You have got to win with this football team.
I agree, man. I think you got to win. I think that the way that everything happened so luckily for Ryan Poles, man, from the Carolina being stupid, for us getting lucky from them being stupid, from the Texans and Lovie Smith being a Chicago Bear coach, the Bear through and through, helping us win that game. I mean, it's just a lot of lucky things that happened for Ryan Poles. The fact that Ben Johnson wanted to come here. People have to understand Ben Johnson wanted to come here. He wanted to come here. So to see Ryan Poles at this point get the opportunity to see his vision completely with the quarterback that he wanted, the head coach that he wanted, the head coach come right in and build the offensive line. Tunney, Dahlman, Jackson, Aji Trapillo, Newman, like just fucking names, 6'8" rookie. Like Ryan Poles is extremely lucky, man. So Andy, what are your thoughts about Ryan Poles, man? I think he finally has got the people around him, from a quarterback to a president to a head coach. So what do you think about Ryan Poles in general, man, and how he can change it all around? Because it's all about winning now. I don't see a gap in anything that we don't have right now, at least on paper, that did not get done this offseason. But what's your thoughts about this deal and everything?
I'm very much on the fence with Ryan Poles. He's done a lot of good, and I think he's done a lot of bad. I cannot forgive this man for the Matt Eberflus ordeal. I'm sorry, your hands are still dirty from that crap we just went through. And then you allowed him to sign Shane Waldron, that very bad offensive coordinator. Then you kept him on for how long instead of firing him? Like, I cannot forgive you for what you just put us through. Matt Eberflus was terrible. Waldron was terrible. You drafted a potential franchise quarterback, and you did not put him in the best position to win last year. And then it's come out that maybe they were watching tape, maybe they weren't. That stuff is unforgivable. It's unforgivable. I would not have signed him to an extension. I would have waited and see what Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams do together, and I would have talked to him at the end of the season. That's what I would have done personally. Because what are we going to do now if this doesn't work? We got him signed for how many years? We got Ben signed for. We're in the same boat we just got out of. But I mean, he has done a lot of good. Like, he did get us out of salary cap hell. Like our boy just said, we had, what was it, 52 million? We did a show on that. 52 million.
It was
that
bad.
Ryan Pace stuck us with. It was in dead cap space. I mean, he got us out of hell. He got us some good draft picks. I mean, he's rebuilt this roster. He tore it down from the studs, and he's rebuilt it. And he's going to hit and miss on signings. Yeah. Every GM does. No way is 100% perfect. But personally, I would have waited till the season's over and made sure Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are 1-1. They are in sync, and it's going to work with those two. Because we don't know that yet. No. We do not know if Caleb Williams is going to excel in this offense and vice versa. We don't know that yet. We hope so. We think so. But we do not know that for a fact yet. So I would have waited to sign him after the season. Me personally.
Yeah, go ahead, Alan, because this is what I'm thinking, Alan, because like Andy said, man, like there's nothing set in stone with Caleb Williams. Like everybody on here wants to talk about Caleb Williams, and it's his personality. We're not going to get away from Ryan Poles, but it's his personality more than the scheme. But Alan, man, like Ryan Poles is running out of excuses. He's run out of excuses with Andy. He's run out of excuses with Chicago Clarence. He's run out of excuses with me. Like, it's over, man. Like, there is nothing else to do but win. So give me some more thoughts about Ryan Poles, man. Like, what are your expectations? Does he lose? If he has a losing record this year, this year alone, what would the peanut gallery, what would everybody be saying? And I'm going to ask everybody, what do you think everybody be saying? Is he just not the guy because the talent is here? The coaching staff is here. So what do you think they'll be saying?
I think they'll be saying that Ben Johnson, I think the heat will fall back on Ben a little bit because he's the head coach. He's the engine right now because he's the one installing the new culture. Ryan's just the administrator. He's just the guy he's supposed to keep everything in order. And that's what he lacked under Trace Armstrong. Now, don't get it wrong. Trace Armstrong is probably the best power agent in football. So we can't discourage that and put him down for that. But you allowed him to be the de facto president, supervisor. Like you allowed him to align your coaching staff with an agency, man, that didn't do you no favors, and it almost put you on the street. Because I guarantee you won't find a job quick as Matt Eberflus found one. I can promise you that. So Ryan Poles needs to go ahead, make sure that he's got everything covered. Go get a damn defensive end. Like if Cincinnati don't want to pay that young man, go get him. If don't wait, you got a 5-year deal. We'll make up the money down the road. Go get a guy that's gonna get us 15 sacks a year. So if you got moves still to make, and you still got a lot of cap space for next year. So don't sit here on your hands. Just go ahead and be, aggressive. You got an extension now, so go ahead and be more aggressive. That's what I want, Ryan. Sometimes you got to get away from the conservative. Sometimes he's a little too conservative. I want him to make some moves, some quality moves. And that guy from Cincinnati, Trey, man, I could just see that number 91 running across the field for the Bears, man.
So Chicago Clarence, what do you feel about that? Do you think that that Ryan Poles should stay aggressive now that he got his extension? Job security is pretty much stable for at least for a season. How I feel, like I still think he can get fired, but you think Henderson here is a good idea?
That's the only hole that's on this team, in my opinion, is an edge rusher. We need a competent edge rusher opposite Sweat. And let's keep in mind, we're going to go into year 2 of Caleb Williams' contract. Caleb Williams is not going anywhere. The day is going to come to where we're going to have to pay him. And once that happens, then you're going to be severely handicapped of what you can do to your football team. That's the reason why I said the time is now. We ain't got time to be wasting around, playing around with going 9-8 and 8-9 and what have you. The time for the playoffs is now, in this window that we are in right now. Now, do I give him credit for getting us out of salary cap purgatory and all that other jazz? Yes, I do. But you were brought here to bring the Bears out of mediocrity to superiority, and you have failed miserably in that because you have already wasted a year of Caleb Williams going about doing the business the way we did it last year. We were a laughing stock. We was the first and second show on SportsCenter daily talking about how bad we are at doing our business. So just the fact that you got paid and you think you got a little bit more rope to swing around and play around, you do not. Because the people in Chicago are sick and tired of losing. We are sick and tired of looking bad while we're doing it. So you want to win, you need to shore up the last remaining hole on this team. For me, it's defensive end, somebody that can put the quarterback on his ass at a routine basis. That's what we need.
Yeah, we got to come in about nonsense snap saying, y'all right. You know, my guys gonna cook, bro. This is what we do. We don't waste each other's time and none of that, man. We're gonna get in here and cook. He said we need to be 13 wins or higher, nothing less. But Andy, man, what are the sentiments you feel about what Chicago Clarence said about the last part we need is defensive end? You on board with that, or you feel like we just need to cool with what we got? Because we spent a lot of money on the offseason with Dayo. And
yeah,
that was a lot of money we gave that young man, and I don't know if that's going to pan out. If people are still saying we need help from the defensive end and we just pay the guy, that's a problem. All right,
it is a problem. Yeah, I think that was a scheme fit.
I don't disagree with Allen and Clarence, but I'm looking at over the cap. We don't have the money to sign him. We only have $14 million in cap space this year. That's not going to get it done. It's just not.
Let me look up our cap space. Let me see.
I'm looking at it now. We only have 14.7 according to over the cap.
I'm bringing it up for the audience.
That's not going to get Trey Hendrickson here.
He wants what, 30, right, Andy?
Yeah, he's not. No, we're not. It's not going to. And my question would be, why did we sign? That makes the Dayo signing look really suspicious when we would make a move for Trey Hendrickson. That makes it look.
But Dayo can kick inside. He doesn't necessarily have to play defensive end, and that was the luxury of signing him. Somebody that could play multiple positions on that defensive line.
So even at $16 million, I got 14.7, but even at 16 isn't going to get it done for Trey Hendrickson. He won't.
But we can.
That's why you restructure contracts.
Yeah, that would say
we talk to the guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you guys this: say we do it. Me and Clarence talked about this on our show. Then we just go down this exact same road with Khalil Mack, and it did not work.
We did.
What's the difference, though?
And then 3 or 4 years later, we're in salary cap hell at $50 million dead cap space. Then we just went down this road. I'd rather just hold course and maybe we can get a free agent that gets cut or gets injured a little bit. You see who's available once these roster cuts start happening.
Yeah, they are. But I think we can move like Ryan Bates. That's $4 million.
Yeah,
it's a couple other guys we can move and chip at it, and maybe we could talk him down to 25, give him a 4-year deal. Like some negotiating could go on.
So what are you willing to give up for him in draft capital?
I would give up I would give up 2 seconds.
I think they're gonna want a first because we gave up first round to get Khalil Mack.
Yeah, but he ain't Khalil Mack. He's nice, but he ain't Khalil Mack nice. But he would definitely be the number 1 pass rusher on our team.
So let me ask you a question.
I'm not against it, but I just based on what I'm looking at with cap space, it's
gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question though, Andy. Let me ask you a question because you brought up when we did this with Khalil Mack. Here's a notable difference though. If I sat there and I put these 2 teams side by side and ask you what the number 1 difference is, I'm gonna tell you. Do we have a better head coach right now than we did when we did that with Khalil Mack? Yes. Do we have a better quarterback right now than when we sit there and put all our eggs in the basket with Mitch Trubisky? Yes. So if you got a better quarterback and you got a better guy that can call plays, it's worth doing. Because that's the only reason why the Khalil Mack experiment failed. We couldn't score points. And we had a guy who was supposed to be this great play caller who never actually proved that he could call plays. And we gave him a head coaching position. So we know Ben Johnson can call plays. We know that Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky. We need to give them the defense we gave that team.
Go ahead, y'all cooking, man. Do y'all thing.
So
yeah, we need that.
Okay, let's say we trade for Trey Henderson. Let's say we do it. What has to be the return for it to be worth it? Are we talking about division title, conference title, Super Bowl?
Division title. That's the standard. That's the standard. Division title. That's the standard,
That's got to be our floor. That's
got
to be our floor.
That's the floor.
About wild card. We win the division by making that move, then everything else is worth it. And you build from there. But when you start talking about building for not making the playoffs, and maybe we sneak in as a wild card, because Matt Nagy went to the playoffs as a wild card. I'm not even trying to smell that. I'm talking about winning the division. And we need a player like that to win this division. Because the other teams in our division ain't playing no games. So you sit there and you make these moves because then you're telling your team, you're telling your fan base, the rest of the NFL that we ain't playing. We are coming. We're going to bust heads. We whooping ass. And our secretary is writing down the names. And that's just how we need to roll.
I mean, and here's what he's looking for, man. He's looking for $30 million a year. He's looking for $30 million.
He's
30 years old. His product production and status has not changed. You know what I'm saying? He's been top like JJ Watt. I think JJ Watt's been like top 2. So you know he's been up there a long time being productive.
And he's durable too. He's durable. He plays on Sunday.
You know what I find curious about this discussion is I'm looking at the Lions. They're sitting there with reportedly $40 million in cap space. They could use a defensive end too.
They could.
I mean, I don't understand why because they don't know if Aiden Hutchinson is ever going to be what he was after that kind of injury. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be eating my words next week. I just don't see us making the move for Trey Henderson and freeing up $30 million this year to sign him.
But to Chicago Clarence's point, at some point you got to start thinking about paying the quarterback, man.
Yeah.
These guys are getting almost $300 million extensions, bro. They getting 250, 260, whatever, 240 million, and they getting 200 of it fully guaranteed.
But that's the reason why.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's the reason why you make this move now, because you got 4 years before you got to pay Caleb Williams. So you make the move now, and if we can get a Super Bowl out of the next 4 years, then it's going to be worth it. And then you do a friendly deal that we can get out of it after 3 years when he's 33 years old. In the meantime, every year in the draft, you're drafting his replacement. You're not drafting Caleb Williams' replacement. You got to retool this football team anyway. Money comes off the books every day. So your money comes off the books. You can kick the can. The football is the only sport where you can kick the can up the road every single year. It doesn't come back to bite you like it does in basketball or baseball. You can kick the can up the road in football and you can release players. Why? Because you're not guaranteeing everybody's contract. You're giving them, salary cap money and salary bonus, but everybody doesn't get a fully guaranteed contract like you do in baseball and basketball. So the signing window for that is right now. 3 to 4 years before we got to pay Caleb Williams.
Yeah, because it's
Go ahead.
No, I don't think we should wait just because the price goes up every year. Caleb Williams' price is going up right now in training camp before it starts. It's going up right now before preseason. It's going up, man. Dayo, I don't know. Brady Jarrett's getting old. Montez Sweat, he had a terrible season last year because he was hurt. You have to solidify this defensive line before you have to pay Caleb Williams. You're going against the Minnesota Vikings, who have a good defense. You're going to the Detroit Lions, who are going to have a good defense. The Packers, I don't know. But at the end of the day, you have to match what other teams are doing in the division to stay competitive in the division. If they got a good quarterback, you got to get one. They got a great offensive line, you got to get a great offensive line. If they got a great defensive line and linebacker core, guess what? You got to get a great defensive line and a linebacker core. So we cannot sit around and wait for some rookie or some guy to come in here. We have to wait for him to develop in 3 more years while other teams are getting better with guys that they've already had years prior or free agencies that they picked up. We're going to have to take a chance on somebody with some money. We'll have to restructure somebody's deal, whether it's DJ Moore deal, whether it's Ryan Bates deal, whether it's Tremaine Edmonds deal. There's something that got to be done. You know what I mean, Alan? Something got to go.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I will be aggressive. Cole Kmet will probably be in that trade to offset some of that salary, but that's just me. You know, I mean, we drafted a tight end. I mean, it might not be the one I wanted, but we drafted a tight end. We went to his position. So, I mean, at this stage, I mean, that this guy right here gets us to the playoffs. Cole Kmet has proved he don't get us to the playoffs. So if we can find and finagle another, you got the time is now, man. And like you say, the price go up. You know, today's price ain't gonna be tomorrow's price. So
right.
You know what I'm saying? So we gotta go after this guy, man. I've been saying that since the news came out. I was like, if we were in on him, don't let it cool. Strike while the iron's hot, man. These are the GM moves that get you to the Super Bowl. Like, you know, this guy right here is one of the ones that can make our defense whole. Like, you know, it just, our DBs will be better, our linebackers will be better. He's just one of those type of talents, and he's consistent. You know, I like consistency in the NFL, man. He gives you 10 double-digit sacks every year, and he's tough as shit. So I just love everything about him, man. We got to make the move, man. Like, Ryan, don't sit on your hands, man. Go ahead and make this move and get aggressive, man. Just stay aggressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up some Trey Henderson stats real quick, so y'all can keep cooking though, man. Let me see if I can pull up some stuff right here. Hold on.
But like Alan said, and like I was saying, the time is now. We got a 3 to 4 year window before we got to start paying out more money. You can always retool this football team, but you got a guy that comes to work every single week, and he's putting the quarterback on his ass, or he's making his speed up his clock. We don't have that on our defense right now. And don't talk to me just about Montez Sweat, because Montez Sweat has proven he can't get the job done by himself, especially when you double team. Because who else on that D-line are you worried about?
Nobody.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Right. So Dale, signing Dale he is what I'm going to call a utility knife. He can play more than one position. Yeah. And they're going to be packages where he's going to be at D-line, at defensive end. They're going to be packages where he's going to be at D-line. So at the same time, you make that even more valuable by going out there and getting a bona fide edge rusher, which is what we've been saying for months is what we need.
Yeah, because look at some of his stats right here. Last year, he had 17.5 sacks, 19 tackles for loss.
Come on, man.
2 forced fumbles, man. 33 tackles, 6 pass defenses, man. Like, the man is crazy. And look at his last game against the Steelers, man. 3 solo tackles, 2 assisted, and 3 tackles for a loss. And he had 3.5 sacks in one game, bro.
G. Walker, he is a what you call bona fide monster. I mean, he's just one of those guys. They don't build them guys in the NFL every year. You only get 1 or 2 of them every so often. He just one of them kids to come up, man. The way his technique is, and I love a defensive lineman to play with no gloves. I mean, it's just something about a defensive end to play with no gloves, man. They just a different breed of cat. So I just want Trey, man. He just screams Chicago to me.
Yeah, man. So Andy, what are you banking on, Andy? Like, if we don't get an edge rusher in here, a guy that can get to the quarterback consistently to help out Montez Sweat, to help out Deo, to Grady Jet, to have a whole unit. So what is your answer for us to be a playoff team, knowing that we got a glaring hole at the edge rush? So what's your answer, Andy?
I think the answer is our offense is going to be the bright spot this year. I think it can be in a much brighter spot. I think our offense should cook. I think we should score points. I think with his scheme and the players we have at the skill positions, I think our offense is going to be the bright spot this year, or the brighter spot. I mean, I think if we can score 30 points a game, or our defense keeps it around 20 points, I think we should win a majority of the games. That's what I'm thinking. But I think Dennis Allen and his scheme, I mean, I want to see it first, the way he's going to rotate these bodies. It's about moving Deo inside and outside, and Stewart inside and outside, and Grady and Dexter, and then Sweat. Hopefully he's healthy this year, because he wasn't healthy last year. We don't really know how bad he was hurt, but he was hurt, I think, a lot worse than it ever came out. But like I said, I do not dislike Trey Henderson. I just don't see us freeing up $30 million right now. Like, it would have to be right now to bring him in. Like, I just don't see us freeing that kind of money up. I just don't see it. And maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be on the show next week and saying, hey, I was wrong. We got Trey Henderson. I got to eat my words. But
but you made a good point, though, man, about the offense having to lead the defense, because that is something that might be a possibility, man. And that is a lot of that is going to be on Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. Yeah. And Caleb Williams is going to have to be, I'm talking about the best version that we've probably ever seen from him already, man. He's going to have to be in way more structure. He's going to have to be way more efficient. He's going to have to be way more accurate. He's going to have to be, I'm talking about all world, for him to carry a team. Carry a team?
Yeah.
Come on, man, like carrying a team. So the fact that this could be a possibility, man, is something that we haven't never seen before. So Chicago Clarence, what are your thoughts about something like that? Do you think that Caleb Williams can lead an offense, bro? Like, if our defense is still what it is, we can be. Do you think that Caleb Williams can lead this team? Ask him to do so much more. Do you think he can do it?
I absolutely believe that, and you want me to tell you why? Because for the first time ever, we got a competent play caller. And I think people are undervaluing how important that is. We talking about a guy that sets up plays and then gives you the right players in these plays to do it. Everybody thought that Matt Nagy was this great play caller, and all you had to do is look at his player alignment and you can tell he didn't know what he was doing. But this guy actually calls plays that make sense because his plays tell a story as to what he's trying to accomplish in a football game. He's just drawing shit up in the sand and hoping that it works. Everything he does makes sense. And his methods to his madness. So if you give Caleb Williams a guy like with structure who pays attention to the details, and all the reports out of Chicago says that Ben Johnson is this dude, because he's been stopping practices, making them line back up. He's been paying attention to their energy, paying attention to detail, and the smallest little things has been setting him off in practice. He ain't playing games like our other head coaches and so-called offensive coordinators has done. This guy knows what he wants. He knows what he wants to see, and he knows what's right and what's wrong when he's seeing it. And so that alone is going to make Caleb Williams a better quarterback. Now, the one thing that I'm afraid of, guys, is Caleb Williams going out there and getting us the lead, letting the football game, and we trotting that defense out there to secure the game. That worries me. How many times last year did we have third down and forever on defense, and the other team picked up the first down? And it could have been 3rd and 15.
Like a broken record.
25. You know, when you give the quarterback all day to make a play, and we talk about competent quarterbacks, and we got them in our division, when you don't get no pressure on the quarterback and they got all day to stand back there and pick you apart, that's how you lose football games. And then when you couple that with not being able to stop the run, then your losses mount. So that's just another reason why I am sitting here making the pitch that we should add a defensive lineman, an edge rusher to this football team, especially somebody of the caliber of Trey Henderson. You know, and Andy, he's got good reason to fear if we should do it. And nobody's questioning that. You know, we can do it, but the problem is, does Ryan Poles want to pull the trigger to do what's necessary to get him here in Chicago?
Yeah, I just think, I think Ryan Poles, and he's a gambler, man. If anybody's paid attention to Ryan Poles his whole time, he's been somewhat of a gambler, man. Like, I think he's played on a lot of belief of players. You know what I mean, Andy? Like, just believing too much in certain players, believing in his own O-line, and believing in Matt Eberflus a little bit too much. I think he might play it safe. But back to what Andy said about the offense, Allen, and letting Caleb Williams just develop into that type of quarterback that can really lead an offense. despite us having a few holes on defense, that is something to really be admired. And but what do you think he can do it though, Alan? Do you think Caleb can do it? Because I think he got to be a lot more. He got to be a better quarterback all around, bro. You think he can do it this year? If the defense go ahead.
I think. I know Caleb has the talent. He has, but y'all know talent don't mean that if the work ain't put in with it. It was things coming out that he wasn't a hard worker like that. Little things coming out of that last coaching staff. I don't know if that was pardon shots at him or not, but one thing I noticed with Ben Johnson, I think Patrick Design said something today. He was like, in the huddle, he was like, Caleb, I just think mentally you weren't ready for that rep. So he sent him back to the huddle. Like, that is a big deal for a coach, man, establishing structure. Like, I'm not going to let you go out there and embarrass me as a coach. I'm telling you a play call, and I just don't feel like you know what you're doing. So now it's time for us to go back, huddle up, get this thing right, and get back to the line. Like, those small details matter to a young quarterback. That means he's got to study. He's got to break down film. And this whole film fiasco, I'm not going to say that this young man didn't watch film. I'm not going to say the coach didn't show him film. But I want to know in between the lines, it was what you were telling Caleb is what I got out of the interview. We can watch film all day, Chicago Clarence and Andy and G. We can watch film all day, but if I ain't got no point of watching it or no understanding of what coverage your team in and where the linebacker is set up, is the defensive back coming to the line of scrimmage, or all these different coverage fronts. If I don't know that, and you just say, okay, well, I'm snapping the ball, running the play after the play after the play, that's not really teaching me anything. So Ben is one of those guys, he crunches tape. And I can tell the way he talk, he crunches tape. So now he can spill this over to Caleb, and then that helps out the team. Caleb's need structure. And that's what I believe Ben's going to bring to Caleb. And we're going to see this year, because I don't think Ben's going to hold back. He's going to cram this whole playbook down his brain. He's going to do it. So we're gonna see a better Caleb this year, because I feel like the offense is going to have a point of attack. It's going to have a plan. Like Chicago Clarence was saying, we were just running to the line to see if we'll get a couple yards. Like, we got a plan now. Like Ben Johnson, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 big chunk plays. 15, 20 yards. He believes in chunk plays. So with chunk plays, that means you need play action. That means you need disguise. Sometimes I might show 3 looks that look the same, but we running 3 different routes. So that's the type of coordinator that we have now. And I love that we have a schematical diversity coming in with how we moving our young men around in different spots. I want to see DJ Moore flying in different positions. I want to see him in the slot. I want DJ Moore to line up in the backfield sometime. We need creativity, and that's what helps a young quarterback, is creativity from the offensive coordinator.
And let's not forget, Caleb Williams was sacked 68 times last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big, big thing, for any quarterback to have to sit back there and think about getting hit every time you snap the ball.
Right.
That matters. That matters. And that's one of the biggest reasons as to why I've been so critical of Ryan Poles not doing anything drastic to the offensive line before this year. Now, don't tell me, well, we did sign this player, we did sign that player. Please, you went bargain shopping. This
every
time,
year he did it.
You went to Beverly Hills and got offensive linemen to put on that line. You've been giving us flea market players for years to protect your quarterback. So this time you went to the Neiman Marcus's, and you went to all the expensive stores and got the goods to protect your quarterback. And it's got to pay off. And then you went out there and you got the best damn play caller in the business to call plays and run your offense. So all of that has to translate to wins. Yeah. And if you want to do it, if you're telling me you're serious, you would do something about the edge rusher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree, man. I totally agree with everything that you said. But this is something we were talking about. That's just what Caleb Williams is going through as far as a quarterback dealing with a new coach. You know what I mean? It's just Ben Johnson. You know, this is what Caleb said. We hang out in his office. We have lunch sometimes, things like that. We're building this bond and relationship to be able to last a while. I know Bears fans, and year after year, typically, or every other year, where coaches and quarterbacks specifically are in and out. And our goal is to be here for a while. And he said he's tough on me. He's awesome. He always has some choice words for me. So Ben Johnson's not going to play around, man. Like, he's not playing around. It's been evident so far, and we're really going to see what he's really about when training camp starts on the 19th or the 21st or something like that. So this is what we need, man. This is what we need, man. I think we need another defensive end. I think we need I think that's the last piece on paper that we need. I don't know, man. I really like what Andy said about the offense really being the linchpin of this team. I don't see them going to get Trey Henderson. I just don't see it. I'm with Andy. Like, I don't see it, and I really do think that this offense is going to lead us, man. And I just want to see if Caleb is going to be that type of quarterback. Like, you have everything else around you to be great. You got the wide receivers, you got the running back, you got the offensive line, you got the play caller, you got everything. You got JT Barry, you got all these guys that are there for you to surround you and insulate you to be great. So if there's ever a time where Chicago Bears offense can be led by a quarterback, it is now. So Andy, it makes perfect sense in my mind, the way that this team is being built, that if they do not go and get an edge rusher or Trey Henderson, whoever, I can really see that Caleb Williams is going to be that quarterback that's going to be about the offense, and he's going to be leading that offense because the defense is not going to be able to do it. He's going to be one of those quarterbacks. He's going to be one of those. I really believe he can do that. You know what I mean, Andy? I really like your point about that, bro.
Did anybody remember years ago they traded Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff? And Jared Goff was the throw-in. He was the throw-in part of the deal, and look what Ben Johnson did with that man. He became one of the better quarterbacks in this league. And now we have Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams last year, was he great? No. Did he hold the ball too long sometimes? Yes. But you look at everything, the big picture, he had a really good year last year. The offensive line was horrible. We had multiple head coaches, multiple offensive coordinators. And I think he did pretty damn well last year. All things considering. Maybe he did watch film. Maybe he didn't watch film. Who knows the true story on that? But I just think he had a very good year last year. I think with Ben Johnson and his scheme, I think he should excel. I think we're going to have a franchise quarterback for the first time since Sig Luckman. I really expect him to excel. I really do.
I'm with you. Just because I like what go ahead.
I think we got the best play caller. I would argue we got the best, hottest play caller for the last couple of years, and we got him under our roof. I think he should bring out the best in Caleb Williams. So you got to remember, he wanted to come here because of Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Not in spite of. He wanted to come here because, not in spite of Caleb Williams. That's big. He wanted to work with this kid. So I think they're going to excel. I really do.
Yeah, and it's just, and I like what Alan said, and I like what Chicago Clarence. I do think we need a defensive end. We need that. There's no getting around that. But if Caleb Williams is the number 1 overall pick, if Caleb Williams has DJ Moore, if Caleb Williams has Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, DeAndre Swift, all these weapons, it should be a drop of a dime or a drop in the bucket for him to lead us to games to win when the defense cannot do it. There is too much on this team on the offense to where Caleb Williams shouldn't be leading us when the defense is not playing up to par. I'm not going to give him that excuse that we're just missing the one defensive end, and that's all it's going to come down to. And Caleb can't be great. No, it's on Caleb Williams. It's not the defensive end we need. It's really on Caleb Williams to be great this season. I can't give him that excuse or the team an excuse because we're missing one pass rush. That's not an excuse, man. There's way too much on offense. There's way too much on the offensive line. We got too many wide receivers. We got Luther Burden. We got DJ Moore. We still got all of the kids from the Commanders. There's a lot of stuff here for Caleb Williams to move the chains and win us games. Move the chains and win us games. There's no excuse.
Don't forget about Rome Odunze. I think Rome Odunze.
Rome Odunze, how did I forget to mention? Come on, bro. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I just think now that Rome Odunze is a starter and he's going to get starter snaps, he doesn't have to sit behind Keenan Allen. I think he should really step up and excel this year. I expect a much bigger year from Rome this year.
But there's a difference to your offense taking the next step and scoring points than winning football games.
Let's go.
There's a very big difference. And like I said, I've seen too many times where teams, let's look at the Buffalo Bills. You can score points,
right.
But does it win you championships when you can't stop the other team from running the ball down your throat?
You're right.
When you can't get the other team off the field on third down, and the one thing that will stop a good offense is if their asses is sitting on the bench because the defense can't get off the field.
I agree, man. So with that being said, we're gonna give our final thoughts, man, on this Ryan Poles situation. And he got the extension 2029. It is what it is. So just what are y'all final thoughts, man? We're going on an hour, man. We got 51 people in the live right now. Shout out to everybody that retweeted, reposted, shared it on Facebook, YouTube, all the comments, man. Shout out to Nonsense Nap. Shout out to Honey. Who else do we have in here? That was pretty much it. We got Carl in here from the Time Smart Podcast. So shout out for him for coming around. We got 53 people in there. So just what are your final thoughts, Andy? Just what are your final thoughts on this extension, man? Like, there's really nothing else to say, man, from this one off season, from everything that we've gotten from a draft standpoint, from a free agency. But I have really nothing else to say.
My final thoughts is I'm not talking for you guys. Me personally, I would have waited to make sure that this Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams marriage is going to work. I would have waited 1 year because he basically got, if I'm not mistaken, he had 2 years left and they gave him another 2-year deal to get the 4 years. So I would have waited another year before I started having a discussion and made sure this marriage worked. I think it's going to, but I would have made sure. That's me personally, because like I said, I'm very much on the fence with this man. He's done a lot of good. Look at this Matt Eberflus regime. He's done a lot of bad. I can't forgive him for the Matt Eberflus regime he just forced us to watch.
Oof.
So I personally would wait a year. That's my answer. I would have personally waited 1 year before I had the discussion with him. And that's my final answer. And thank you for having us as always. I enjoy myself. And you can find us, the Bears Den Podcast, on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Again, thank you guys for having us. It's been a blast as always.
Man, I love it. Chicago Clarence, man, what's your final thoughts, man? I have nothing else to say, man.
My final thoughts is I thought that he should have been fired last year, but the simple fact that you didn't do it and you let him go out there and hire this head coach, you now have to marry them together. That's the right way to do it. The head coach and the general manager should be married together. And this is his second head coach hiring. He don't get a third.
No.
So you had at the point really and truly you had to do it. Because if you fired him now, didn't extend him, or you fire him after this year, you then bring another general manager in here with the head coach already in place. Mm-hmm. And you keep keeping everything off balance and offset. So you have to do it now. And that's the reason why I started my whole soliloquy off talking about how he is married to Caleb Williams and he's married to Ben Johnson. His faith is tied to those two guys.
He is.
That's the reason why you had to do it. I'm not in love with it, but you had to do it.
Right. Well said. Alan, what you got for us, man? What's your final thoughts on this?
My final thoughts is, man, I agree with Chicago Clarence on this one. You definitely got to marry the GM and the head coach. So we've very rarely done that. You know, most competent organizations, they do it. So it might not be the GM we want, but at least the scheme of it is the correct thing to do. The schematic part of it. So now it's a part of the plan. Now they get fired as a family. They go down as a family now. So if you fire one, they firing everybody. Everybody must go. Caleb, Ryan, and Ben. If it don't work, they all must go. But if they win, they all get paid. So that's how this work now. That's it. And Ryan's got to sign my guys, man. We got some rookies that ain't been signed yet, man. It's making me nervous. Those second round picks in the NFL, man, there's something going on with some contract language. But they haven't signed our second round picks yet, man. So Ryan got to figure this out, man. A lot of GMs got to figure it out. There's something going on behind the scenes of, because Luther, I don't think he came back out there because he didn't have a contract. I think the agent kept him out of it. He wasn't hurt. He was just kept out by his agent. So it's just a lot going on, man. We gotta get these guys signed before camp because I can't see a second round guy holding out, man. Let's get it done, Ryan.
Yeah, man. Only thing I gotta say is like it's over for the excuse for Ryan Poles, man. Like for a guy I always thought was lucky to keep his job through the Trey Armstrong fiasco, for keeping Matt Eberflus, for him to not be building the offensive line, being the bargain bin shopper like Chicago Clarence said for 3-4 years, to get lucky with get Caleb Williams because he wasn't our pick naturally. What's his name? Lovie Smith helping us out. And then you get Ben Johnson that won to coach or quarterback. Like for him to have the type of history that he's had, the turnaround that he's had, we don't normally see that through teams. A guy that's 15-36 gets an extension. I don't know because George McCaskey felt he was guilty and he and they like him, or this is just a Kevin Warren situation. Is Kevin Warren the guy that's pushing the needle to get Ryan Poles this deal? I think that the positive side of Ryan Poles, he got us out of cap debt. He got us draft picks. He does have a good vision, but I just think that his vision wasn't complete until he had the right people around him to make his vision come complete with the Ben Johnson, with the Caleb Williams, with the Kevin Warren. The support structure from a head coach that was more than competent, a head coach that's his offensive scheme with the Detroit Lions, leading those guys from the top 3 to top 5 offense, Kevin Warren being the Big Ten commissioner. He has insulated himself somehow with the top people in the profession. Probably not the top 5 or whatever, but these men are top, man. Like Ben Johnson, as much as I did not want him to be on this team, he's very blunt, he's in your face, he's intense, he's very creative. He stayed in the division to beat the Detroit Lions and the Packers and the Vikings, man. The man could have went anywhere in the NFL to get a job, whether it was the Raiders. There was a couple teams looking at Ben Johnson. Ryan Poles is one of the luckiest MFers on the planet. There's no more excuses. I can't think of one excuse that could keep this man from keeping his job anymore, man. Like, dude, the turnaround that you've had to keep your job is historic. Historic. So if it doesn't work for Ryan Poles now, it's never going to work, man. That's my final thoughts, man. I'm G Walker from the CNG podcast. Shout out to CJ. He wanted to be here tonight, but his internet was messed up. It wasn't working right, man. But shout out to Chicago Clarence. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Alan. Look, man, this is what we do. We cook. We support each other. We talk football, and we show love to each other, man. So with that being said, we're going to get up out of here, man. One love. Follow these guys on Facebook. Follow them on Instagram, TikTok, X. Follow them everywhere. YouTube, the Bears Den podcast. We're going to be talking with them all season. I think this is our second year collaborating with each other. So it's been nothing but a blast, man. It's been nothing but love and support, man. These guys know football. So, and Alan, man, what can I say, bro? We got people in here saying that they actually cannot wait to hear your takes, bro. I'm here for Alan takes, man, because they know the man cooks. So shout out to Honey for saying that, man. We really appreciate the love. We'll be back with our training camp EP. That'll be me, CJ, and Alan specifically. And this was an emergency podcast. And Chicago Clarence got feelings about Ryan Poles, so does everybody else. So I want to get a collective thought on this, man, because 3 people weren't going to be enough. So with that being said, I'm G Walker, the CNG podcast. God bless y'all. Have a good evening. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.